All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. My name is Luke Norb, as you probably know by now, and it's a rather another cold day here in the New Jersey area. We've had quite a cold snap here for quite some time, and I hate it. But things should warm up, rather quickly. At least I hope. Uh, well, it's again we'll be here till 6 o'clock, and the number is 512-543-4662. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportshow.com and you're there. And don't forget Russell McGee coming up with his fine show at 6 o'clock. And Kevin Dixon, whenever his show return. I'm sure it will return. We just don't know when. Maybe I'll just check later. All right. So I'll bring in my crew here. We got Steve, I think. All right. Mike and Diane. Could you speak up a little bit, Di? You better hear you. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right. It always is that happens to be the other way too. By the way, did anybody have trouble with their Facebook page this morning? Because I know I was having trouble with mine. Oh boy. Okay, though it's not just me. Thank goodness. Right, but Facebook had a big problem, so I'm glad I got that all straightened out. Marvelous. All right, so let's recap last week's division round final, and some of it was a doozy, and some of it was like, what happened? All right. Well, I didn't expect much in this. I mean, the Chiefs over the Texans 23-14. I'm not very surprised by that. I mean, the Texans, I didn't think had enough in them to overtake Kelsey and Mahomes anyway. So that was almost like a given. So Mahomes and Kelsey helped the Chiefs to another AFC title game. Mahomes had never lost in the divisional round in the playoffs. Stroud had 245 passing yards. Mixon had 85 rushing yards on 18 carries and a touchdown, and Travis Kelsey had 117 receiving yards and a touchdown. The biggest surprise, I think we all know, and I think we all agree, that was the Commanders of the Lions. Steve, I know you got to be ecstatic about that, of course. Duh. So, uh, Jay Daniels and the Commanders stunned the top seeded Lions 45-31 to reach the NFC title game as the Lions once again choke in the playoffs. Okay, maybe that's not so much a surprise. So Goff had 313 passing yards with a touchdown. Gibbs had 105 rushing yards, 14 carries and 2 touchdowns, and Amaz St. Brown 137 receiving yards. Now, as for Sunday's games, this one I think maybe might be a little bit surprising as well, as the Eagles just held up to beat the Rams. I mean, the Rams put up a good fight here. 2022, Matthew Stafford, yeah, he did his part for the Rams. 324 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 205 rushing yards, 26 carries and 2 touchdowns. I'll get to more on him in a moment. And Nuka, 87 receiving yards. Yeah, 87 receiving yards. Over on the other side, this was closer. I wasn't surprised by this at all. I mean, maybe some of you were, but I wasn't surprised by how this game turned out. The Bills over the Ravens 27-25. Lamar Jackson had 254 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry had 84 rushing yards on 16 carries and a touchdown. And Isaiah, who likes me, I mean, likely put up 73 yards and a touchdown. Likely he did that. But what I want to know is in that Ravens Bills game, can you tell me guys this? How can you miss a 2-pointer from that distance right there to tie the game up? I mean, how? I mean, it was right there. 9 times out of 10, anybody can make that 2-point conversion shot from that distance. What happened? That's what cost the Ravens a chance to tie it up and send them into overtime, which it probably would have done. But that, in fact, was 2 missed 2-point conversion that happened. Okay, maybe the snow would have been a factor in it as it went on late in the game. Okay, I understand it. But under normal circumstances, 99.8% of the time, you make that 2-point conversion. Can somebody tell me what happened? That cost the Ravens a chance to maybe do pull off an upset here. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, normally you don't miss a 2 point conversion like that. I mean that's a little bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because we've seen 2 points conversions, from the 2 point conversions made all the time, and then all of a sudden you just miss it. All right, like I said, maybe the snow is a bit a factor of it, but normally you wouldn't have that problem. Buffalo, in Buffalo, yes. Diane, I think it snows in Au Diane, I'll put it this way, I think in August it snows in Buffalo. All right, maybe September, but I don't know. Well, yeah, I know it can be a factor, but these are professional players. I mean, they don't miss shots like that very often. Yeah. So that was, I think, the big surprise there. Other than that, I wasn't surprised by the scoring and how the game went at all. I mean, these are two of the best in the AFC, two, I think, the best in the division. And it was gonna come down, I think, to the final play anyway. So, overall, I wasn't surprised. Just for that little in the game. Oh boy. All right. So I knew you'd say that. All right, but we'll get to your predictions on that a little bit later. So, anywho, on to other news. The Detroit Lions were all set to make a deep playoff run, and many thought they were going to go away the Super Bowl, including myself. Was I right? Wrong. But quicker than Barry Sanders, only all 11 defenders on a field, they lost to the upstart Commanders on Saturday. I had the Commanders' victory included turnover-free football from Daniels taking charge of the game. The Lions coughed up the ball 5 times, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, a lost fumble by Jared Goff. Oh my goodness! And the other interception was on a reserve pass. Yes, he is mostly. And the other interception on a reserve pass by receiver Jameson Williamson. He used quarterback for the Rams, and used to be though for the Lions. So despite a 15-2 record, 15-2 record, the best in Lions history, uh, they're not feeling so great right now. This is the time of setback that will only be magnified over time if the Lions don't reach in the Super Bowl era. And this one might come back to bite you, yeah, pretty badly. Because when you suffer a loss like that, it's hard to regroup the next season. I've seen it happen lots of times with teams that you know, get in these playoffs and they have such a heartbreaking loss, they just can't regroup in the next season. Uh, what did I say about wrapping that, Jimmy? Yeah, yeah, sure. hmm So, yeah, yeah. Oops, wrong page. Yeah, wrong page. Sorry. Okay. So, we have seen bushels of Lions losses because they are televised every Thanksgiving, and most of the teams have been, well, awful. Now, take the Thanksgiving game of 1998. I think we all remember that. The Lions totaled only 60 yards with 3 first downs and possessed the ball for only 15 minutes, an epic display of offensive failure, or as I call it, putrid. Also behind mediocre quarterbacks Chuck Long and Rusty Hilger. Oh boy, that was a horrible game right there. Now, certainly Goff does not belong in those same category. Of course not with those two, but he had a bad day as a turnover machine. What a day that was. Lions coach Dan Campbell said he did not have his team prepared for this game at all. Well, you should have. That was your first problem. I mean, you were the division champions, and you come to this game not prepared. What kind of a coach are you? Dumb. The Lions outplayed. The Lions Yeah, they're supposed to be. So the Lions were outplayed, outcoached, outwitted, etc., etc. Even Jamar Gibbs was doing his best Barry Sanders impersonation with 175 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. The Commanders were in control for most of the game. Well, you don't remember Barry Sanders from the Lions? Wow. Oh, that's right. You are. Well, maybe. Then again, you're not. Then again, that's for pure football fans. All right, the Commanders were controls of the game. One glaring gaffe came when Washington, led by 3, decided to go for it on 4th down from the Lions' 5-yard line early in the 4th, and did not happen. Other than that, it was almost a perfect game. The Lions were in disarray, and players were moving around everywhere, unable to figure out what are we doing. Tom Brady from Fox Sports repeatedly calling for a timeout. There was a big reason for that. The Lions did a no-no, 12 men on the field. You can't do that. That's 11. So in other words, you cheated. So Campbell said the lack of timeouts was a killer. They always are. This puts the Commanders into the NFC title game for the first time since 1991, when they were back known as the Redskins and won the Super Bowl that season. Steve, you gotta be happy. I mean, even you didn't expect this, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, but I know you got to be thrilled about it. Exactly. Uh, Mike, your thoughts on the game? They don't. They just can't hold it. How do you not come prepared for a championship game? How do you not come prepared? I mean, really. You're supposed to teach your team that. Yeah, but you're supposed to come prepared. This is a championship game here, sort of. You can say that again. They didn't have it. How about you, Jimmy? Jimmy, I know you're there, Jimmy. Speak up. Yeah, they should. You gotta come not only physically prepared, but mentally prepared in a game of this magnitude as well. And if you don't, you lose. All right. Moving on, the Kansas City Chiefs had an easy win, of course, on Saturday. No surprise there. But history was also made with Andy Reid. The Chiefs raised Reid's playoff record to 27-16, putting him in fourth of Bill Belichick's record of 31 playoff wins. But when taken into other terms, with Reid's 270 regular season wins, that now places him with 300 overall wins. Not bad. Only 4 coaches in league in NFL history have had 300 wins or more. Don Shula, of course, who I think his record will never be broken, is at 347. I hate to say it. Belichick is second at 333. Yuck. The Bears was next with 324 with George Halas, the only coach they ever had during that era, and Reid at 300. The Chiefs now face the winner. The Chiefs now will face the Bills in tomorrow's AFC title game. At the time of this article, it was the Bills versus the Ravens who going to win that, but that was several days ago. So forgive me on that. All right. Saquon Barkley, a former Giant who went up the turnpike for the Eagles, finished with 205 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns, despite horrible playing conditions as the Eagles took the hold of the Rams for a 2022 victory in that. Yeah. Jalen Hurts completed 15 and 20 passes and rushed for 70 yards and a touchdown. The Eagles now face the Commanders in tomorrow's championship game. That field was a mess. Oof. Matthew Stafford, not bad. 25 for 40 on 44 passes for 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kyrene Williams finished with 19 carries for 106 yards. Tight end Tyler Higbee and Colby Parkinson each had a touchdown catch as well. Barkley scored a 70-yard touchdown to take a 28-15 lead with 4:36 remaining. Naturally, you think, okay, game, set, match, right? Wrong. Well, then he cut to his left and sprinted past the secondary. Jake Elliott, however, missed the extra point for the second time in 3 tries. Uh-oh. The Rams pulled in within 6 to make the score 28-22 on a 4-yard pass from Stafford to Parkinson with under 3 minutes left. That's when it gets interesting. The Eagles then punted on the next possession, and the Rams had a chance to take the lead, but the Eagles' defense was firm as Stafford threw an incomplete pass on 4th and 11 from the Eagles' 22-yard line to prompt a turnover on downs, and that's as close as it got. So, like I said, that game I think was more competitive than most people thought, but I wasn't surprised by it at all. Those were two teams that got good, solid defense, and it was going to come down to that. And I, for one, was not surprised by that. I mean, the Rams aren't as bad as most people think. They hang in there. They hang in there a lot, but Eagles are just too much. Jimmy, you gotta be happy about that, of course, since you're the Eagles fan around here. Duh. Mhm. Yes, gotta make the big plays. You've got to make the big plays in this time of year. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Before I get into anything else, hey Jimmy, did you hear about this Eagles fan that was running amok? Yeah, well, let me tell you guys. Now, there are fans who are fans, and there are other fans who just go completely ape and off the wall every time something happens. Ryan Caldwell, the disgraced Eagles fan who was captured on video heckling a female Packers fan and repeatedly calling her, well, a name I like I mentioned here, during the wildcard game in Philadelphia, has been banned from all future events at Lincoln Financial Field. A source with knowledge the situation told the New York Post. A woman's fiance. Oh, yeah, we were there. We've been there, Di. We've been there before. A woman's fiance. Yeah, Alexander Basha filmed the entire altercation, which took place in the stands at Lincoln Financial Field ahead of the home team's 22-10 win over the Packers 2 weeks ago. Don't call her a you know what, Barnes told Caldwell, who continued to heckle the woman. Oh boy. I mean, those are very explicit words I'm not gonna say here. She said, Caldwell said, she is an ugly, dumb, you know. I mean, you don't say that, first of all. That is uncalled for. According to Internet Sleuths, Caldwell is a project manager at BCT Partners, well, not anymore, a Dell-focused management counseling firm based right here in our home state of East Brunswick, New Jersey. Oh, great. That aims to harness the power of diversity, insights, and innovation to transform lives. Oh, yeah, sure. Not from what you just said. The company released a statement on Monday saying it opened an investigation into the situation and did not name the employee involved. The management had been aware of the video circulating involving an employee making very offensive remarks outside the workplace, the company said, and BCT Partners denounces this type of behavior. And we take this matter very seriously. As an organization, it has always stood for inclusivity. The conduct displayed was completely unacceptable and stands in the direct opposition of our company values. Yeah, just because you didn't like something, you gotta curse somebody out like that. That is uncalled for. What kind of a fan are you? I mean, really? Yeah. So it is right. I meant to do this last week, but we got caught up on other stuff, so I wasn't able to mention it. So just forgive me on that. So Barsha said in a post on X, that I still call Twitter, that Cole's heckling was unprovoked while him and his fiance were cheering for the Packers. Yeah, of course. You get that rivalry going, and most fans are like, they just boom whatever. But you do not do that to somebody in the stands and curse that person out. That is not acceptable. He was in the wrong, especially someone with that derogatory comment. You do not do that. That's got to be one of those. Yeah. Or as I can call it, as Daffy Duck would say, it's despicable. And it is. It's despicable behavior. Oh, one other thing I want to mention, I forgot to mention last week. Some of you may be familiar with the name, and some of you may not. Well, most of you I think have heard of Bob Euchre, correct? Yeah. Well, I didn't think all of you did. Well, Euchre passed away almost over a week ago after suffering a long battle with cancer at the age of 90. He was a player for the Cardinals. Not very good, but he was on the World Series team back in 1964, being my Yankees. He was more known for his other efforts. He was a broadcaster for the Cardinals for like 50 years or so. I'm sorry, the Brewers. Sorry, for 50 years. In addition, he also appeared in movies, television shows, and beer commercials as well, particularly Miller Lite. I'm not going to go into that though, but still. Kind of like the clown prince of baseball, if you ask me. Not a very good home run hitter and whatnot, but he became more famous, off the field after his work than on the field. And amateur player, but a great comedian, great guy, great actor, and whatnot. And Steve, you might remember him from like movies like Major League and whatnot, and the commercials too, right? Yes, Mr. Belvedere. It was a sitcom in the late. It was a sitcom in the mid '80s. For those of you who don't know, and Bob, where we are, we're sitting in the front row. I'm sorry, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted. I'm sorry, and it's one thing about this show that I have in common with Bob Euchre with the Miller, because this show is less filling and it tastes great too. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh boy, I had to throw that in. I'm sorry. Oh boy, the things they do. All right. So moving on. As you can tell that we are more football oriented for the past couple weeks. Well, hey, it's that time of year, folks. What can I say? All right. So while the Commanders pulled off the upset, came with a price as right guard Sam Causey is going to miss the tie game tomorrow. Steve, listen up here. He tore his ACL during the game. MRI confirmed the severity of the injury. Got any quick thoughts on that, Steve? Before anything else? Yeah. Next. All right. So I'll move on. We got to move more quickly, guys, because a lot to cover. All right. So continuing on here. Yeah. Hold on. The injury occurred 5 minutes in the second quarter when Lions defender Darius Smith hit the back of Cosby's legs, with Cosby's right leg pinned under Smith's body. Cosby hobbled off the field with the trainers. He was replaced by Trent Scott as he's playing his fourth team in 7 seasons. Oof. How you gonna be able to handle that with him out though? So anyway, Cosby was selected. He was selected second in the second round, 51st overall in 2021. He has played in 57 games with 49 starts for the Commanders, starting in all 17 games this season and playing in every snap for the last 2 seasons. Steve, what do you make of it without Cosme? How much can they hold up here? Mhm. Yeah, yeah. You think so, huh? Now over on yeah. Okay. Now over on the Eagles side, Jalen Hurts was a full participant in practice on Thursday, but he was limited in a walkthrough after suffering a knee injury the day before. Okay, we got some banged up people here. Expected though to play in the title game, Hurts was hurt in the third quarter of the divisional flip against the Rams. Hurts was hurt. Play on words, guys. Get it? Okay. Tight end Dallas Goddard uh, with an ankle injury, and center Cam Jurgens, with a back injury, did not practice on Thursday for the second straight day. Pro Bowl guard left tackle Landon Dickerson took the snap at center on Thursday as Tyler Steen was at left guard. Jurgens is a vital piece to the Eagles' rushing attack, and the left side of the Eagles' line has been elite when Dickerson and left tackle Jordan Malta are both healthy. Assuming they are. Commanders defensive coordinator Joe Wood Jr. offered a warning of sorts on Thursday when discussing Hurts was more of a running back than rather than a quarterback. I don't know if that sounds insulting or not. By offensive coordinator Keelan Moore. If he's going to run the ball, well, then we'll treat him like a running back. We're going to hit him like that. Which said that's their decision if they want to get to him if he gets hit. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni downplayed the comments on Thursday, saying every team was trying to tackle Jalen like a running back, running with the ball, running ball. Sirianni said we are cautious in how we use him and how we think about each play. We know how important it is to have him out there. I would not expect anything less. Jalen knows how to handle himself. So with that in mind, what about that? And you call him a running back instead of a quarterback? My goodness. Yeah. But no, he is a quarterback, but they're treating him like a running back. Yeah, that's how the that's just to intimidate him. That's all. That's just to intimidate him. That's what it's all about by now, Doc. Intimidating your opponent. Yeah. But I think Jalen's gonna be all right to play in tomorrow. And I think it's gonna be, I hate to say it, but I don't think it's gonna be much of a close game at all, especially with conditions here in the east that's well, up in this part of the Northeast, rather sloppy, cold, and whatnot. Washington gets a little bit better, but you're going to enemy territory now, and this is where I think home field advantage matters most. Not so much in wild card games and whatnot, but here is where I think most of the time, um, well, depending on your opponent, that it really matters the most. All I can say is good luck. Jimmy, your thoughts? I don't know about high scoring in this one, Steve. I don't know. I think more high scoring in the AFC matchup. I don't know about this one. I think it's going to be more defensive. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know about this game. I think it's going to be more of a defensive struggle here than in the AFC. I expect that one to be more high scoring. Hmm. Yeah, well, we'll just have to see about that. Jimmy. Since you are the Eagles fan, your thoughts with the Hurts injury and you know, Yeah, it is. I do have those Cowboy news you were mentioning about Steve as owner Jerry Jones stayed in the house to find the next head coach for the team. After negotiations with the recently departed Mike McCarthy and a meeting with franchise leader Deion Sanders, an interview with Robert Sala, Leslie Frazier, and Keelan Moore, the Cowboys are set to make offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, Marty's boy, their next head coach. Schottenheimer, now in his third year in Big D, joined the Cowboys as an analyst under McCarthy before becoming offensive coordinator in 2023. Schottenheimer broke into coaching back in 1997 as assistant coach with the then St. Louis Rams before moving back to Los Angeles. A year later, he joins Big Daddy's staff on the Chiefs, later working as his quarterbacks coach with the Commanders from 2001 and then the Chargers from '02 to '05, back when they were still in San Diego, I think. Young Schottenheimer would go on to be the offensive coordinator for the Jets, Rams, Colts, Seahawks, and the University of USC between 2026 and 2020. Not consecutively, but during that time span. And with the passing coordinator for the Jaguars in 2021. Two words to say about that, I'm sorry. This will be Schottenheimer's first attempt as a head coach and will be introduced officially as the head coach in Monday's press conference. Hey, like father, like son. I mean, Marty Schottenheimer, of course, the legendary coach. Yeah. What do you think about Junior? Can he handle it like he's a Schottenheimer was a very respected coach. How is Cleveland? Yes. It's a lot of pressure. How do you think he's going to handle it? You know, I mean, he's staying in the shadows of his dad. That's going to be kind of hard. Yeah. Right. Let's see what Alex has to say about that. Young Schottenheimer getting his first taste of being a head coach for Saturday. No, well, that helps too. Mm. No, it's possible. Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. And of course, you got yeah. So you don't think there's going to be any problem? Yeah. A Honda Accord. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And Yes. There's a lot of that going around. Right. Yeah. Yeah. But, what does everybody think of the new Jets coach, Aaron Glenn? Yeah. Yes, he's been there before too with the Jets. Yeah. He's done. He shouldn't play. He should retire. I mean, it was a mistake coming back this year after being out, in the first game of 2023. He never should have came back to this. I know he's got one more year of his contract, but they can terminate that. Yeah. No, no, you're not. Yes. I wouldn't do it. You know, yeah. 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 Yes. So after announcing 16 completed head coaching interviews, Glenn met face to face with Jets brass on Tuesday, and a framework of a deal was completed upon Wednesday. Before striking his professional coaching career, Glenn worked in the Jets front office as a professional scout in 2022. And don't forget, he also played for the Jets for 8 seasons. So he knows his team pretty much inside and out. So he is no stranger. He is no stranger to this team at all. Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think James Wan. James Wan, your comments. Yeah. All right. So at least we got that all covered up with that. But I think it's gonna be a fair move. Yeah. Right. Oh, by the way, the Bills are. Yeah. Yes. And by the way, the Bills. I gotta go on, Steve. I gotta go on. Steve, I don't have time. Bills safety Taylor Rep and offensive tackle. All right, go ahead. All right, but hurry. All right, and trouble on the Bill side is safety Taylor Rapp and offensive tackle Dion Dawkins did not participate in Wednesday's practice with an illness, and linebacker Matt Milano was limited with a hamstring bicep injury. So the Bills here are kind of injured too. They're becoming a train wreck as well. According to head coach Sean McDermott, Rapp is listed day to day with injuries to his hip and his back. Cornerback Christian Benford is also limited on the estimated practice report with a concussion. Well, that's not good. Rapp was injured in the second quarter in the Ravens and was questioned for return. He was ruled out midway through the third quarter. He was injured during the play when he was on the ground when he was hit by his own teammate, namely Damar Hamlin. Oh boy. He was carted off the field with 6:13 to go before the half. Rapp intercepted the Ravens' Lamar Jackson in the first quarter. He had 2 tackles in the regular season. He had 82 tackles and 2 interceptions. Milano exited the final defensive series on Sunday, did not return. So that's bad right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about thoughts on the college game, though? By the way, because that turned out to be it turned out to be an interesting game towards the end, but Notre Dame just missed them at the end. Ohio State's defense just too strong. Yeah, but so Ohio State came out on top of the national championship just when looked doubtful after the loss to Michigan in the last regular season game. With the final seconds winding down and the victory secure, Ohio State head coach Ryan Day set off a half jog along the sideline and pulled his headset and yanked the equipment off his belt. Yeah, that's a way to celebrate, of course. It looked like Ohio State was going to take control most of the game, but Notre Dame was trying to make a run after. I mean, towards the end of the game, but wasn't enough. So winding down final second, yeah, he yanked his butt up and everything. He tried communication device and threw it down. Stuck. Yeah, not the game I was really actually expecting, but you know, I really thought Notre Dame was going to handle it. The headset is used for communication with fellow Ohio State coaches in the game, of course, but it's also the refuge of the outside noise coaches talk about. But why always for coach had to endure more noise than Ryan Day. Coach third base can't beat Michigan, can't win the big one down the field. A 69-10 record before Monday. Criticism had been relentless over a 4-year losing streak to Michigan and was downright vicious when Michigan beat Ohio State in that game after Thanksgiving in November. The only way to escape it was to win the title game, and they did. Ohio State rolled up 4 touchdowns, like 4 impressive victories rather in the first 12-team playoff, and that's how that worked out. I wasn't really surprised by the win, but I really thought that I really thought Purdue was going to give it more of a chance. Just absolutely insane. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, he did. Okay, Diane, you can do your trivia now too. Okay. Yeah. Who was it? Steve, stop. What's the answer, Die? Yeah. No. Go on. Muhammad Ali. Yeah. We have a caller here. Okay, from the go ahead. Go ahead, Die. Let her finish. Go ahead, Die. Oh, Tyson. Okay. We have another caller here. Would you say your name, please? All right, Kirby. Thanks. So, Kirby, what do you make of all the football talk we've been mentioning? Yes. Right. All right. Let's take our predictions now. Then. All right. So, first matchup, we got the Eagles and the Commanders. All right, Steve, you got the Commanders, of course, right? All right, Kirby, who do you got? All right, Mike, Diane, Jimmy, and Alex. All right, Bill. All right, Bills and Chiefs. I don't time. Yeah, Bills and Chiefs. All right, uh, Mike, who do you have? Mike, Mike. All right, Kirby, who do you got? Alex? All right, Alex. Yeah, yeah. All right, where did Mike go? Hmm. All right, Diane. Diane. Okay. And Jimmy. Steve. Go on the Bills too. Yes. Yes, he has. All right, turning our attention to NBA now. The starters for next month's All Star game have been announced, and the Greek Freak received more than anybody, 4.4 million votes. Fans by far, 4.4 million votes from fans, by far the most of any player. Nikola Jokic was the leader among the players in the Western Conference. The All Star game will play at the Chase Center, the home of the Golden State Warriors, on February 16th. So here's the list. In the East, you got Giannis for the Bucks, Jason Tatum of the Celtics, Cat for the Knicks, Donovan Mitchell for the Cavaliers, also Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. Western Conference, LeBron, of course. Suns forward KD, Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets, Shai Alexander of the Thunder, and Stephon Curry. Reserve players will be announced on January 30th, so I'll cover that next week. So let me make this list here for the All Star game, guys. And it's a little bit different this year with the tournament as a start. There'll be 3 games. There'll also be one with the winner of the Rising Stars game taking on from the other winners. So what are we making this new All Star format, first of all? And what are we making this lineup for the All Star game? Anybody? Yeah, right. Okay, anybody else? Yeah. 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 All right. Do we have any tennis fans in the house? Yeah. I'll get into it anyway. All right. The Australian Open is in the final rounds this week. The men's final was tomorrow. The women's was today. I'll get a little bit. The men's semifinal first match opened between the Joker and Alexander Zverev came to an unexpected ending on Thursday as the Joker was forced out at the first set with an injury. Djokovic and Zverev played to a tiebreak in the first set in what could have been saying for a 5 set classic, but in other words, did not happen. And by the time Zverev took a set at 7-5 in the match, it had played for 82 minutes. As soon as the final point was completed, uh, Djokovic went over to shake hands with Zverev and bowed out of the match. Some fans booed out as Djokovic walked off the court, responding with a thumbs up. Zverev is now going to face Yannick Sinner for tomorrow's men's final match. Anybody make predictions on that between Sinner and Do you have any thoughts on Zurich, big versus Sinner? I'm going with Sinner. He's an Italian, at least. Yeah. Yannick Sinner, yeah, right. Yeah, Diane, what happened to Mike? Diane. Yeah, because we don't. So in the second semifinal match, Yannick Sinner beat American Ben Shelton in straight sets 7-6, 6-2, 6-2, and Alphazer, who was looking at his first major. In that second semifinal, Sinner easily got through despite a tough set in the first match and had to go a tiebreaker. Sinner will be looking for back-to-back titles down under and his third major overall. He won last year's U.S. Open, and after he was cleared in a he was cleared of a doping case. The World Doping Agency is still seeking a 1-year suspension from Sinner after the International Integrity Agency ruled a steroid found in Sinner's test was a result of an accidental contamination. A hearing for an appeal is set for April. Oh, come on, it's not his fault. Please. So again, Shelton Sinner briefly needed treatment from a trainer in the third set after grabbing his right leg. He said after the match he was just suffering from leg cramps, nothing more than that. I still gotta go with Sinner for this match tomorrow. I like it. I like him too. I like the guy. So good luck on that. All right, let's go to some baseball because we also have the Hall of Fame has announced its winners for the inductee for 2025. Only three though, but then again, that's better than nothing at all, right? Right. So let me just. Oh, the Giants have also hired former Lions defensive coordinator. Oh, sorry, the Jets. Yeah, Aaron Glenn is their new head coach. Glenn was no training on for 8 seasons and was 12th selected in 1994. So congratulations on that. And longtime official Ron Tober will be the head referee for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans on February 9th. That was announced on Tuesday. And the officiating crew will be Mike Morton, Mike Causey, that's the down judge and the line judge. Mark Stewart is the field judge. Merle Robertson, side judge. Horace Cheek, back judge. Also with Natasha. No. Uh, John Monroe, replay official Kevin Brown. This will be the second Super Bowl for Tober. He was when the Rams beat the Bengals in Super Bowl 56. And Ben Johnson was also named head coach of the Chicago Bears. Good luck. He accepted the position after 3 seasons as the offensive coordinator of the Lions. He began his time with the Lions in 2019 as an offensive quality control coach before becoming the tight ends head coach and then passing game coordinator. Mm-hmm. On to baseball, the White Sox and left-handed strike pitcher Martin Perez finalized a 1-year, $5 million deal. It also includes a mutual option for 2026. This is his 14 to play for after splitting last season with the Pirates and Padres. The Pirates dealt him to the Padres at the trade deadline. Perez was an all-star in 2022 with the Rangers with a 2.89 ERA, with a 12-8 record with one shutout with 32 starts. He went 10-4 the next season as a part-time starter that helped them win their first World Series title. Yeah. He had 314 games with 269 starts with the Rangers, Twins, Red Sox, Pirates, and Padres. Perez is 1987 with a 4.44 ERA with 1,109 strikeouts and 568 walks in 1,575 innings. But on the bad news, they had to make room, of course, as the White Sox says a right-hander reliever Ron Marcinio for assignment. The White Sox claim Marcinio off of waivers from the Yankees in late September, but did not appear for the game for the White Sox last season, as they were the worst team of all time in the major leagues. Uh, that was a joke right there. A joke. Okay, now we got our members for the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I think you guys might like it. I know I do. I know I like this list. All right, so here we go. Uh, Ichiro Suzuki and CC Sabathia were elected to the Hall of Fame in overwhelming fashion, while Billy Wagner made the most of his 10th and final appearance on the ballot, clearing 75%, which you need to get in, earning 394 votes. Suzuki nearly joined Mario Ravano, a man tasked with pitching one inning, you know, in all of his outings. He received 393 out of 394 votes. I would know the dummy who didn't vote for him to make it sure to be unanimous. I mean, really, who was the nitwit that didn't vote him in? Yeah, judge that one. Right, of course. Probably the same person as probably Suki by Bonilla. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Hmm. Yes, I know. Yeah, but the reporters can be a little nosy, and players have the right to their privacy too. So you have to give them a little. You know, yes, I know, but still, players players need their privacy too, and the reports can get a little bit too personal too, and that's not right either. So you have to look at it that way too. So anyway, Wagner, 82.5% of the vote, was the only real attention of the night. He just missed last year's selection by a measly 5 votes, which was at 73.8% of the ballot. Now, the Hall is ensured a trio of inductees that'll be in July. They'll be inducted by the Baseball Writers Association of America. Good choices. I mean, it was pretty obvious though that Sabathia and Suzuki were going to get in, no question. I mean, Suzuki was, of course, one of the best. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Sabathia, yeah, again, another one. Great one for the Yankees, and of course, was on a few championship teams there. Wagner, I know the problem with Wagner. I think he was great in his own day as well. I think all three are great choices for the Hall of Fame. Just let me look up some of his numbers here. So before we go on, you got to be good to get into the Hall of Fame. So here are some of Wagner's career stats. Yeah, an ERA of 2.31, strikeouts 1196, save percentage of 422 saves. Not bad. And the postseason um, was above. Was a winning percentage of 500. No, not bad. He, of course, missed a couple of years too. I mean, 97, 99 with well, 4 years with Houston, one with the Mets, one with the Red Sox, and one with the Braves. Was his postseason pitching performance. Overall, not bad. So I think it was well deserved to get in. Sabathia and Ichiro, of course, too obvious. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Ichiro was a no-brainer. Come on. Yeah. Star in Japan, yes. Okay. Yep. But never won a World Series. Come up short. Okay, I got one more football note here. All right. Now you know, of course, everybody is like always trying to make predictions for what the team is going to do next year when they win the world, win a championship of sorts. Well, they're already thinking of Ohio State to repeat, and they have the best odds. I don't know. I mean, you can't really tell by the year before, the previous year, because players leave the school and whatnot, and I don't know. I don't see it happening again next year with that. Yeah, I'm gonna run down some of those odds right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna run down these odds for next year because this is I mean it's a little bit ridiculous if you ask me. And by the way, they just said the 2027 championship game will be played on January 25th of that year, which is the latest ever for a college football championship game. Good news is though, you're on ABC, so thankfully for that. First time since 2010 that'll happen. Boy, I'm getting really old. For 2025. Okay, listen up, guys, and let's see if we all agree here. Probably not, but we'll see. All right, the odds for next year. Ohio State, yeah. Let's see if I can get this right though. 2025 national championship odds. Okay, so let's see here. Hmm. No, this can't be right. No, you don't. You don't. That's pretty much true. That's pretty true. Oof. Yeah. We'll get back to that if there's time. So anyway, the Blue Jays signed a 5-year deal with outfielder Anthony Santlander, pending a physical, according to multiple reports. ESPN indicates that the deal could be worth up to $90 million. I'm not joking. Last season was the best of his career, hitting 44 home runs with 102 RBIs, only trailing Aaron Judge with 58 and Show Me the Money Otani with 54. The former Orioles Sluggers made his first All Star team this season and is expected to remain north of the border for the rest of his career. Yeah, maybe get another Joe Carter out of that. Touch a ball, Joe. Oh no, sorry. He's been 8 seasons with the Birds. He has 20 home runs or more in each of his last 3 seasons. He figures to be provided more drive more offensive power to a Blue Jays team that lacked power last season, having the fifth fewest home runs in the league. Only the White Sox, Nationals, and Marlins and Rays had less. No, no fooling. Those teams were awful. All right. Little thing from Sammy Sosa. He released an apology letter regarding mistakes during his playing days. The Cubs have announced that Sosa will be inducted in the team's Hall of Fame. I've been out now for 21 years, said Sosa on last Friday, at said at Cubs fan convention. I believe the time is right. I am looking forward to continuing with the fans. Sosa was given a loud ovation when introduced, so it was time to mend the fences with the organization. Yes. The mistake Sosa referred to was when he was using you know what back in the 1990s and 2000s, PEDs. And he was suspected of being a PED user throughout his career. His name was not among the numerous MLB PED users in the infamous Mitchell report, but in 2007, the book The Game of Shadows details Sosa's alleged use and involvement in the Blanco scandal. Despite being the only player to hit 60 home runs in 3 separate seasons, Sosa with 10 years on the Baseball Hall of Fame before being dropped in 2023 and had been estranged from the organization since last year. Sosa's letter finally spurred the Cubs to open the door to their former star player. Team owner Tom Rickens had insisted that he in the past that Sosa would not be invited back to any public events unless he publicly apologized for his alleged PED use. Oof. Other players coming to the use with that, such as Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, A Rod, and Andy Penn, have all been welcomed back by their former teams with similar apologies. Now that he's back with the Cubs, Seager's eager to see what the future holds for him and the Cubs. I'm here. I'm back. I'm looking for good things to come. You have to give him credit for fessing up to that. I have to give him courage for that. Yes. No. He did apologize. He fessed up to his mistakes. So I think I think it is something that men defense man up. That's what he did. Yes. So that's right there. You do. Are you okay? All right. All right. Okay. Hmm. So FanDuel had the Eagles as 5.5 favorites as of Monday, and the Commanders are fourth in the main and 14 in the Super Bowl. That according to ESPN and FanDuel. Yeah, the rivalry continues. Before I do anything else, does anybody uh, have any best and worst moments of this past month? I got a few. Is it breaking news, Steve? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got this. I got it. I have it now. Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay, I have the story now. Ohio State who just defeated Notre Dame in the national championship is looking to repeat next season. We'll see. Ohio State is the betting favorite to repeat their title hopes next season, though an overflow of talent is expected to depart for the draft. That's number one right there. The Buckeyes will have wide receivers Jeremiah Smith and Camel Tate. Allen gives whoever replaces Will Howard at quarterback most either most likely either Julian Slan or Tavin St. Clair, one of the most dynamic pass catching duos in the country. Notre Dame made its first playoff appearance in 13 years and had the sixth best odds to win it all behind Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, Oregon, and Penn State. Texas made its second semifinal appearance in the semifinals, but lost to Texas in the Cotton Bowl with the Texans quarterback Quinn Ewers heading to the draft. What a shock. Uh, a new era of Longhorns football was expected to begin with Arch Manning taking the keys as the starting signal caller. Yeah, Ewers announced that he was leaving Texas to head to the draft as well. I'm not surprised with that at all. What a surprise. Right, Matthew? No, I think it just came up on while we're doing this show here, so I wasn't able to get my hands on that one yet. Not surprised because it's amazing how sometimes breaking news happens while I'm doing the show here, and it takes me a while to catch up to it. Yeah. So we were just saying, do you have any best and worst moments from the past month? So Matthew, do you have any? Yeah, yeah. How about you, Steve? Yeah. I remember the same mine was despite the fact Notre Dame losing the championship game, they really, surprised a lot of people, especially if they beat Georgia, in the playoffs. So you have to give it that. And well, the worst I think, well, we had a lot of bad moments, but of course, also what happened with New Orleans back on New Year's Day with that horrible incident. I mean, that's got to be the worst one. I mean, they even had to push the playoff game back another day, the day after, because of the horrible incident that happened just after midnight. So that's my worst moment in the sports. Also, not to mention, yeah, that is a highlight. And of course, with the Giants, yeah, and don't forget, of course, well, the Giants finishing up their worst season in franchise history. Oh, yeah, yes, yeah, I know. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I gotta move on. I have to move on, Steve. They're not. No, no. Okay, on to hockey now. Devils goaltender. I'm glad Diana's not here for this. Jacob Markstrom will miss 4 to 6 weeks with the MCL sprain. He was injured on Wednesday's win over the Bruins after Bruins forward Justin Barzul collided with him in the crease. He underwent imaging on Thursday, which revealed the severity of the injury and will start a rehab program under the guidance of the Devils medical staff. 4 to 6 weeks, and they've been slumping a bit too. Markstrom's participation in the nation's Ford tournament from Sweden is a challenge. Sweden is dealing with other injuries as well, with Senators goaltender Linus Olmark and Knights forward William Carlson also injured, and he's week to week. Markstrom came to the Devils in a June trade from the Flames that involved a first-round pick and defenseman Kevin Byle headed to the Flames. The Devils took on Markstrom's final 2 years of his contract. In 36 games, he's a 2.20 goals against average and a 9.2 save percentage with 3 shutouts. And the nation's Ford tournament is next month. Utah is not going to be having its team known as the Yetis. Well, you're going to love this one. kind of ridiculous. Um, the potential snag could bring the team back to the drawing board, as the NBC station in Utah said the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office refused the club's attempt to trademark the Utah's name Yetis earlier this month, with the prominence of another Yeti brand named the Yeti Coolers. That's right, the Yeti Coolers. Okay, while the Utah Hockey Club is playing under its moniker to start its run as a franchise, it was common knowledge that Utah Yeti or Yetis was the name they were working towards. According to uh, patent the patent office, adding Utah was not enough. Using as a plural was not enough of a difference to set the franchise apart. Taking Yeti to make it plural just didn't cut it. How ridiculous is that? So the Yeti or Yetis was one of 6 names selected from the list. Also with the Utah Hockey Club, boring name, the Blizzard, the Mammoth, the Outlaws, and the Venom. I kind of like the Blizzard for a name for the Utah team. I mean, Utah Hockey Club just sounds boring. To be honest with you, I like Utah Blizzard. Yeah, I like it. The Utah Blizzard. Just hope we don't get any Blizzards around here. Oh boy. The Golden Knights suffered no loss on Thursday as they announced William Karlsson is week to week with the lower body injury I just mentioned. Head coach Bruce Cassidy said, "We will see how he plays this out. It's a hole in our lamp when he's out, but we got through it early in the year, so it's an opportunity." In the meantime, Tanner Lesmansky and Brendan Bryson were called up from the AHL squad in Nevada, one of the remote suburbs of the state. Karlsson has 7 goals and 11 assists in 38 games, but he's well off his 33 pace that he posted last season and has not had a point now in the last 7 games. Oh boy. The Knights, however, do lead the Pacific Division with 62 points, but in their last 7, they are just 1-5-1, and the Oilers are within 1 point behind them. Okay, so this is going to be a tough battle coming down the stretch. You know, how are they going to be able to hold on that? We'll have to see. Hornets star Brandon Miller is out for the rest of the year after having surgery for a torn ligament on his right wrist. Oh boy. He tore the ligament in his wrist during a win over the Jazz on January 15th. At the time, the Hornets said he would be out for an indefinite period. But now it's for the rest of the year. The surgery was performed by Dr. Michelle Carlson at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York, formerly known as Columbia Presbyterian, where I've been treated. Miller was averaging 21 points per game with 4.9 rebounds and 3.6 assists. He has only played in 27 games so far this season, as he has been known as being accident prone or injury prone, as the case may be. Yeah. When it rains, it pours. Okay. The OKC Thunder are comfortably in the Western Conference, and Shai Alexander is a big part of it. On Wednesday, he scored a career 54 points in a win over the Jazz. Neither team had a double-digit lead until the Thunder pulled away with the last 3 minutes of the game, so it was close throughout. He easily beat his previous high of 45 points. He attempted 17 of 18 shots from the free throw line. The two-time All-Star had 8.8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Quite a list. Jalen Williams came back from a one-game injury absence. He scored 25 points as the Thunder have now won 21 of their last 23 games. John Collins scored 22 points and 12 rebounds. Walker Kessler, 17 points and 15 rebounds. Keontae George scored 15 points and 10 rebounds, and they all had double doubles for the Jazz, but are now on a 4-game losing streak. Yeah, what are you gonna do with the Jazz? Yeah, that's not a problem. I think without Holmgren, they're in trouble. I guess without Holmgren, they're holding their own. That is pretty remarkable. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. All right. Hey, is Steve still here? Yeah, I do too. All right. We had the women's round that was this morning, very early, I might add, as Madison Keys won the Australian Open from down there. After pulling up an upset earlier in the tournament, Keys had one more as she took down top seed player Irina Sabalenka in 3 sets to finally win her first major title. Congratulations. The U.S. scores. Keys' remarkable victory marked her first Grand Slam title in 46 appearances. Only two other women, Flavia Pennetta and Marion Bartoli, made more appearances before winning their first major title. This was also her first time in 8 years that she made it to a final in any of the major tournaments. She lost the finals of the 2017 U.S. Open, a match that she had dwelled on since that time. Her best finish was at the Australian Open was 10 years ago. She reached the semifinals. Keys is the first American woman, stay away from me. No, no. In 5 years to win the Australian Open. The last to do that was Sophia Kenin in 2020. Not that it was a lot long ago, but it seems like a long time. Uh, so Sabalenka won the previous two Australian Opens and last year's U.S. Open, but Keys kept uh, Sabalenka on guard. Keys broke Sabalenka's serve, taking 5-1 in the first set, even after losing the serve in her first attempt to close out the match, the first set. Keys shrugged off the missed opportunity by breaking Sabalenka's even serve again. Keys held serve to win the first game of the second set and looked to be in control, but Sabalenka fought back, taking the next 5 games, forcing the third and final set. Both players held serve in the first 11 games, up 6-5. Keys fought off Sabalenka's serve, setting up 2 championship points. It was her second cross-cut serve that won her the first major tournament of her career and broke out in tears of joy. Well, hey, why not? I mean, you deserve it. You for all that time, you were in 46 um, final appearances before winning it, and you finally got it. Well deserved, well fought, and congratulations. That's one for the U.S. I'm not much of a big tennis fan, but hey, I'm proud of her because the U.S. has had a lot of trouble in winning the major tournaments. There's only 4 a year, and she finally got it. And well deserved, well fought, and well deserved. Now let's see what you do in the French Open. Jimmy, are you okay? Yeah, I thought I heard something on your end. Okay. The Dodgers have reached a tentative deal with right-hander Kirby Yates, as reported by USA Today on Tuesday. Oh boy. Terms of the deal for Yates were not disclosed, who will join a strong pitching staff, of course, if he completes the physical. The report came a few days after the Dodgers signed Tanner Scott to a 4-year, $72 million deal. The Dodgers are looking for Scott and Yates to bolster the back end of their pitching staff that could roll out Shoni Otani, Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and new newly signed rookie Sasaki. Clayton Kershaw is also supposed to return after spending a brief time in rehab. Might be his last year, though, I think. Mm. Yates recorded 33 stages. I think so. I think it'll be done after this year. I do. Yeah. Yes. Uh, Yates recorded 33 saves to go with the 7-2 record last season with a 1.17 ERA and 61 relief appearances last season with the Rangers, who did not have a good year. Yates is a two-time All-Star with 95 saves with a 3.17 ERA and 422 games with no starts, and a 26-21 record with the Yankees, Angels, Padres, Braves, and Rangers. It's quite a list. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 No. Right. All right. More baseball. Okay, we got more here. The Pirates are not. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not for sale, contrary to popular belief. Despite the pleas of frustrated fans who want the owner Bob Nutting to sell the team. At off-season event last Saturday, fans are chanting sell the team" during a question and answer, leaving CEO Travis Williams to tell the crowd Nutting is not going to sell, whether you like it or not. Bob is not selling the team, said Williams. He cares about the Pirates and he cares about winning. Well, if you care about winning, why have you done it? Putting on a winning product on the field and is working towards that every day. Still, it's hard for fans to believe. The Pirates have 17 playoff appearances in 143 years of existence. They have won 5 World Series titles in their history, but the last one hasn't happened since 1979, the We Are Family year. I can't believe I just said that. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do remember that. Remember, guys, I'm not as young as you think I am. The Pirates did not make the postseason since 2015 when they lost in the wild card game for the second straight year. The playoff drought is now the second longest in the majors. Only the Angels have had a longer postseason drought. Funny, didn't feel long ago that they won the World Series. That was back in 2002. The Pirates are in 2025 after coming off back-to-back seasons of 76 and 86 and only 4 winning seasons since 2007 when Nutting became the principal owner. They were still in the playoff hunt when August came around. Entering August 1st, they were 2 games above 500 at 55 and 53 and 2 games out of a wild card spot. After finishing the season at 21-23, and the Pirates ended 13 games out of the wild card spot with manager Derek Shelton and general manager Ben Carrington called out by the fans as well. I can imagine what they were trying to tell, but I can't say that here. We can just look at last season. Williams said was very positive going into midseason. We were 2 games up about 500 and going into August, but we crashed and burned in a tough August, and the rush took us out of the wild card contention. From myself to Ben to Derek to lots of people that we were hearing throughout the entire conversation, but it's not for lack of commitment or desire to win. No, it isn't. Sometimes it's not because of that. Just you just had a bad stretch, and that's what cost you. No. Well, yeah, but Alex, you probably said, yeah, but Alex, yeah, yeah, but you gotta think something too, though, Alex. That's true. But the thing is that more money does not necessarily mean your team is going to be better. You have to think about that. No. Yeah, but look what happened. The Marlins won the World Series against the Yankees. They had the lowest payroll in the league, and they still won back in 2003. More money is more money does not guarantee you success. Yeah. Well, I know that for sure. You know, I mean that team is becoming a very disappointing franchise. They start out good at the beginning of the season, but when it gets to like July and August, they really just lose it. It is. Yeah. Uh-huh. And the Mets signing AJ Minter a 2-year, $22 million deal. Yeah, let's see how that works out, buddy. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So the LA Lakers need more from their star players if they want to compete for a title this season. So far, probably not. Back on Wednesday, ESPN NBA insider reported that LeBron James and Anthony Davis had become worried that the Lakers had not done enough to stay competitive down the stretch. With the trade deadline 2 weeks away, league sources told ESPN that LeBron and AD are growing concerned about the Lakers' ability to make significant upgrades to their roster. With their two tradable first rounders, according to the insider. LeBron and AD both are NBA champs and have expressed they want the franchise to make moves with their co-stars, believing that the Lakers are not too far away from contending for a title, which I agree. They're not that far. I mean, they're not doing that terribly at all. I'm just going to check a quick look at the standings and just to show you that how close they are, or how far that they're, or how far away they are. Normally, I save this for next week, but this was too good to wait on. So if we look over here at the standings of the NBA, the Knicks are holding up their way as well. I wish I had better news for your Wizards, Steve. That's what I want. Yeah. All right. So as we go to the West, not bad because the Lakers are in fifth now at 24-18. With there's still a half a season to go. I think they might be in pretty good shape to make the postseason. Okay, they're not going to catch the Thunder or the Rockets, of course. Well, maybe the Rockets if they get their act together. But the Thunder I think is going to take the regular season title. But I do think the Lakers have a chance to qualify for the playoffs without being in the playing game. Maybe make a little bit of a run. Say maybe like the conference semifinals. I don't think it's over for the Lakers at all. If you're the Suns, or the Warriors who are on the outside looking in, most of the West is strong. It's when you get down after the Warriors that it's flat. Even with Wembanyama's Spurs, he's still got a way to go. And if you're the Jazz and Pelicans, forget it, they're done. But I think the Lakers can turn things around with the second half of the season. So I'm going to hold out for them. I think they might be a sleeper. Might be a sleeper team heading to the heading towards the down the stretch in the regular season. Of course, it's my opinion, and since nobody thinks my opinion is that accurate, yeah, well, tweet you. Oh, right, right, yeah. Yeah. Okay, just a second here. All right, but Bronny had a good night with the G League last night. I'll get to that in a second here. I mean, listen to this, guys. He had a pretty decent night. Ryan James may not be full NBA material yet, but he's doing well with the G League. He had the dunk of the night. He caught a body in Friday's win over Rip City. What a name for a team, Rip City. He finished with 31 points on 10 for 22 shooting, while Quincy Ovaleri had 22 points for the South Bay Lakers and won 122 to 110. Alex Reese led the Rip City remix with 32 points despite the loss. Okay, he's not NBA material, but still, he is doing great in the G League. And, I think right now, I think that's where he belongs. I think we just rushed him too much into getting into the NBA and think he was going to be like his dad and whatnot. And, you know, a lot of pressure to put on Bronny, but he's holding his own right now. And I think, he's going to do well with the rest of the season in the G League. And, maybe next year they'll find something to put him in. Okay, now for the comic tragedy of Jimmy Butler. Oh, boy. On Wednesday, he was suspended for a second time this month after missing a team flight to Milwaukee. What happened? Your watch stop or something? Jeez, oh boy. In a statement with the club, Butler was suspended for a continued pattern for disregarding team rules, uh, insubordinate conduct, and conduct detrimental to the team, including missing the team flight to Milwaukee. Butler returned from a 7-game suspension for his conduct, and the Heat were 3-4 in his absence. The six-time All-Star had requested a trade, saying his relationship with the Heat is dead and buried. After Butler missed 5 games with an illness last month, the Heat was not satisfied with his little play when he returned. And that, of course, issued the 7-game suspension for his conduct, which has been an issue for the last several weeks. At the time, Butler said it was likely he would never play for the Heat again, but did return after suspension and averaged 13 points per game with 3.3 rebounds and 5.5 assists. The team, though, went 1-2 um, in that span. On the season, Butler is averaging 17 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Butler is also missing today's game against the Nets. You know what? I say trade him. I know Pat Riley doesn't want him to go one up. I say trade him. You know, he's becoming a big problem. And like I said, it's just something more than a soap opera with him. You know, let him go. No, we don't go from bad to worse, do we? Oh, Steve, I think we went to the Wizards just be just as bad. Yeah. Okay, more trouble. Oilers forward Connor McDavid was assessed with a match play uh, penalty during last Saturday's loss to the Canucks with an altercation with Canucks forward Connor Garland. After both were tangled up on the ice and exchanging some shoving, a frustrated McDavid could be seen cross-checking Garland. The NHL's Department of Safety reviewed the incident and deemed McDavid's actions being way out of line and ultimately issued a 3-time Hart Trophy winner with a 3-game suspension. This is McDavid's second suspension of his career. The first came in 2019 as a result of a cross check to the head of former Islanders defenseman Nick Leddy. And as a result of his history, that also includes a previous fine the league issued for a 3-game ban. Yeah, McDavid could become kind of a problem too. I mean, he's kind of become a bad boy of the league, and I think he deserved it. I really do. You know, I know boys will be boys, but you have to learn how to control your emotions there, and it got the best of him, and he deserved this 3-game suspension. Although I do think that maybe that was a little bit light, to be honest. I think he should have been suspended more. 3 games is really nothing much of a suspension. That's just like a slap on the wrist with that. I think it should have been at least 5 or 6 games. Would you agree, gentlemen? I would say I'd say at least 5 games. Yeah, because they do get because a lot of them do get away with murder. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, right. Exactly. Yes. Right. By the way, Alex, you're fired. Yeah. Yes. By the way, you mentioned about Chet Holmgren. He continues to make progress from his pelvic fracture and will be reevaluated within about a month from now. For those of you who have forgotten, Holmgren was injured on November 10th when he took a hard fall and went when he went to challenge Andrew Wiggins' drive midway through the first quarter in a home loss to the Warriors. The Thunder diagnosed him with what was a right wing fracture and did not provide a timetable for his return, only saying that he would something would be reevaluated within 8 to 10 weeks, roughly 2.5 months. Though his first 9 games were he averaged was through his first 9 games, he averaged 18.2 points per game and 9.2 rebounds with 2.9 blocks. He was second overall in the 2022 draft. Holmgren missed his entire rookie season with a Lisfranc injury. He played all 82 games though last season. But the Thunder are doing just fine without him because there's at the time the score was 38-5-7, and they're a shoe in to win the West. No question about it. Yeah. Well, unless you have a total collapse, of course, in the playoffs. But I don't think it's gonna happen to the Thunder. I mean, I have seen teams do that, but Thunder are just too strong. Yeah. All right. So, is there any final thoughts before we sign off? Uh-huh. Yeah. I still say that the Bills. I still say that the Bills game is gonna be the better game though. Yeah. If Allen stays on this game, I think the Chiefs are gonna be in for a fight. I really do. I can see it happening right now. So I'm not gonna be surprised if it does come that way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Quick. This week in history. Um, as we look through. Okay. 1960. Walt Chamberlain scores 58 points, the most ever by an NBA rookie, as the Philadelphia Warriors beat the Detroit Pistons. That was before, of course, they moved to Golden State. Of course. 1939. In only the second World Heavyweight Championship fight between two black boxers, Joe Louis knocks out John Henry Lewis in one at Madison Square Garden, NYC. Dennis Potvin's 10th hat trick in Islander history. Wait, the Islanders had their 10th uh, hat trick in New York Islanders history. Dennis Potvin's first back in 1975. Yeah. The Padres trade pitcher Dave Tomlin at $125,000 to Texas Rangers for Gail Perry. He wins 1978 Cy Young Award. 1980, Dutch government demands boycott the Olympics. Oh yeah. 1981, the Oakland Raiders beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10. Jim Plunkett MVP. I remember that. I also remember that dumb Wheaties commercial we did too. Like, never mind. 1987, Giants beat Denver to win the Super Bowl. Their first in the modern Super Bowl era. 1989, Jordan scores his 10,000th point in just his fifth season. Oh yeah. 1991, Brett Hall scores twice in Blues 9-4 win for Detroit to give him 50 goals in 49 games, the third player in NHL history to score 50 goals in less than 50 games. And by the way, Ovechkin is now 27 away. Is now 27 away, Steve, from breaking the record. Well, I still think he's going on next year to do it. Okay, the Broncos beat the Packers 31-24 in 1998. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I got my way for Rasol. We'll be back next week. We'll recap the championship game, and we'll have the NBA All Star reserves for that matter as well. So on that note, before I get cut off, I'll leave it at that, and we'll see. We'll hear from you again next week, same time, same station. On that note, good night. Oh, yeah. Hold on, I got it. Right. Thanks.